Hey guys, my stitchy friends. Welcome to my Flosstube number 32. It's October 24th, 2021. If you're new to my channel, I'm Mary, and this is my channel about cross-stitch. Thank you for stopping by and giving me a chance to view my stitching. I hope you enjoy what you see. If you're returning, well, I'm still Mary, the Daydream Stitcher, and I thank you for coming back. I mean, that's amazing that you watched me before and came back. Bless you, so thank you for that. I have been, well, it's been 5 weeks since my last video. A little bit longer than I meant to, but you know how things go. So I have been doing a lot of stitching like it's my job. So I am happy to show you what I've been working on. So let's get going. The first thing I want to show you is a cute Halloween piece that I'm doing that I've been stitching along since September 1st with Ashley the Wayward Stitcher on Instagram and here on YouTube. Hi Ashley, congratulations on finishing yours. She finished hers I think last week or so. And of course I'm usually behind on things, but I'm getting it finished up today. It's out of this Just Cross Stitch 2021 Halloween special magazine, and it's this one here on orange fabric, and I chose to do mine on a Picture This Plus called Mystic 32 count Belfast, I think it is. And this is what it looks. Sorry for the hanging thread. I was trying to work on it a little bit before my video. So I have to laugh. If you're on my Instagram, and if you're not, why aren't you? Please come over and follow me, and I will be happy to follow you back, because that's about all I use my Instagram for, really, is my cross stitch. So, but anyway, I posted last night that I had filmed this Flosstube yesterday, and I edited it for several hours. I uploaded it, which took forever, took like 2 hours to upload, and I had watched it back a couple, you know, obviously when I was editing and everything. And after I got it on YouTube, I was looking at the thumbnail that it chose, and I thought, something looks wrong. Do you see what's wrong with this? Yeah, I put too many F's in there. So it was really easy. This morning, I just couldn't deal last night. So I went on to bed, and then this morning I fixed it. It's really easy to just take out the last E and make an F. You know, the E, just like 3 more stitches, really. So there's that. The other thing I wanted to say, so this is fixed, but I want to thank all of you for your kind comments on Instagram. That meant a lot. I really appreciated that. You made me feel a lot better. And yeah, we'll just pretend that I hadn't had my coffee. I probably hadn't, because lately I've been getting up and stitching like first thing while I'm waiting on my coffee to even brew, which is like unheard of me, because I normally can't function without my caffeine. So we'll just go with that, right? That I really am a nightmare before coffee, and I can't stitch right. So thank you for all of that, those kind comments, and I appreciated that a lot. The purples in the steam, let me see if this will focus. The purples in the steam are 550, 552, and 554, I think, and I was worried that the 550, the really dark purple, wasn't going to show up. And I was going to switch it. Ashley and I actually discussed it. She suggested maybe a green. My husband suggested some grays, but I decided to go ahead and try the purple, and I'm happy with it. I like how it's not showing up real pop, but I think with the way that the yellows and oranges show up on it, I think it'll be fine, and it's just kind of the shadow of it. So I'm happy with it. I'm going to leave it. So all I have left to do is just the rest of the mug, which is Jack's face in white. So I'm hoping to finish that. So here we are somehow with only 1 week to go till Halloween. I can't believe it. It's still been in the low 90s here in Florida, down into the high 80s, but it sure feels like the 90s. Halloween weekend is supposed to get dipped down into the 70s. Yes, so I'm really excited about that. Yeah. So hopefully we will be experiencing some cooler temps for us in Florida on Halloween. But anyway, so we have a week till Halloween, and so I'm hoping to wrap up my Halloween stitching in the last week and then put it away for a little while. I do stitch Halloween during the year, as many of you do, but I will probably put that away for a while and focus on more fall and winter themed pieces. So I will show you, I have been working on some of these Halloween pieces since my last video. This is Halloween Night by Imaginating. This is where I was last time, and this is where I am now. I'm going to go over my face. This is done on a 32 count Jobelin called Gold Rush from Bestitch Me. And I worked on the pumpkin, I started the border and the dancing rats down there, and my goal is I would like to finish this gray cloud this week, and then I think I'll be good with like leaving it for now, or maybe I can finish Halloween Night, the words on there. I started that last year, Halloween 2020. So I wanted to show my new Garon tote bag. This is really new haul, but I'll show it in my Halloween section. So this is the latest for my collection in a Halloween theme. I thought the colors were really bright and really fun, and I really hope that that shows up well on my camera, how vibrant that is and beautiful. And you know, I love the reversible fabric, so that's what's inside. Pumpkins and bats and candy corn, super cute. Love these bags so much. If you can get your hands on one, try to do it. And then my main focus for my Halloween piece is my Headless Horseman. So here's where I was in my last video, and here's where I am now. There he is. And obviously I'm not going to get this finished by Halloween, but I'm hoping to finish the moon so that I can wrap up that silk, the Caron water lilies in lemon lime, which is super lovely and great to work with. I love silks. And so I just try to finish that up and maybe finish up the saddle so I come to a good pause point. This is done on 32 count Lugana, I think it is. It doesn't say. Actually, it might be linen, but it's Alchemy from Picture This Plus, which is just what I happen to have on hand. It's not quite as dark as the called for fabric, but it works. I like it. I think it still shows up well. And I started on the border. I was a couple weeks ago when I was stitching on this, I stumbled across a version of the story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the original by Washington Irving, on YouTube. And it's done by a podcast that does scary horror stories, and usually I'm not into like horror, but Sleepy Hollow, like that whole goth Halloween, you know, the Poe stuff, the Haunted Mansion is my favorite ride at Disney. Not that you asked, but anyway, that's what I love. So I listened to that, and it was really, really well done. I really enjoyed it. And so I'm going to link it below in case anybody's interested in listening to that. It was really fun. I think it was just two people, a narrator and then a guy that was doing background voices with the sound effects. And if you, just fair warning, if you click on this video and you hear the titles, just know that the titles sound cheesy the way that they do the echoing and everything. It does sound a little like, I don't know, but you know, the production value is very high and very good. And so if you can get past that title thing, then it gets good. It is good. So yeah, hopefully some of you will enjoy that also. Okay, so in addition to my Halloween stitching, I've been stitching on a lot of other things as well. So I'd like to show those to you now, share those with you. I've been working a little bit on my nativity piece. This is where it was the last time I showed it, which was probably in my summer whip parade. This was a piece that I started in 2016, I think, for my mom. And it's supposed to be a gift, and I really need to get it done so that I can give it to her. It's been lingering too long. I worked on the Wise Man. Here's where it is now. I worked on the Wise Man, so I have a Headless Wiseman. I have the Headless Horseman, and now I have a Headless Wiseman. So I got most of him done, and I started on the next Wise Man here, and then that will be it for the main part of it, and then there's a border that goes all the way around, and there's a bunch of beading around the edges, but yeah, so there's that piece. This is a 32 count Jobelin from Silk Weaver. It was a solo die that I purchased from an individual on eBay, and the original pattern has it on blue, which you know, it's not exactly the same, but it's very close to what was called for, and I really like. I love working on this fabric. It's really nice and buttery soft. I worked on my Heaven and Earth. So here's where it was last time. So here's my Heaven and Earth now. I hope you can tell that there's a difference, because I feel like I've put a lot of stitches into it since I last had it out, showed. I got these books mostly done. I worked down here by the lady on the red and the blue. And I just love this piece. I've been really enjoying the full coverage lately. And that's been fun. So this is a 25 count Lugana Magic. Is it called Magic Guide? I don't remember, but it's 1/1 full cross is how I'm doing that. And I just love the colors in it. Toss. Cleanup's always fun after these things, right? And then I worked on my Dimensions Kiss for a Snowman. Here's where I was the last time I showed it. So I got quite a bit more done, I think, on this one, considering this has just kind of been my travel piece. I've just been taking this one. We have a homeschool co-op. I homeschool my 3 kids. Send wine. But anyway, I've been doing that their whole lives. So, and I was homeschooled myself, but there I go on a ramble. So my point being simply that I take this along to our co-ops on Fridays mornings. We're there for 3 hours, sometimes more, and I take this so that I can sort of just stay in my shell, and my kids are in their classes, and I don't have to feel awkward just standing there not talking to anyone. So, I mean, I do try to help out with their classes a little bit, but yeah, my daughter's taking an embroidery class through the co-op, so that's been fun. And so there's another mother there with her daughter that's learning to do embroidery that is in the class, which is kind of neat. So I've been sitting with them and working on this, and the lady that was running the embroidery thing, she said, oh, I told her I did counter cross stitch, and she was like, oh yeah, you know, that's just like really like simple, like, I don't know what she said exactly, but basically she was just sort of like saying that was like a really simplified version of embroidery, which I get because, right, it's just the same stitch and you don't have all these specialty stitches like you do in embroidery, I guess, because, right, when you have specialty stitches, is it then embroidery or is it still cross? I don't know. But she was kind of like putting it down like, yeah, count and cross stitch is sort of like the I don't know, like the primitive embroidery or something. So at a little bit later then, you know, I'm not going to argue that. That's not something worth getting into. So a little bit later, I pulled this out to work on it just quietly with them. And they came over and saw it. And the lady who had said that, she was like, what is that? And I said, it's counter cross stitch. And she said, I've never seen counter cross stitch like that. I had no idea that it could look that detailed and that amazing. And she said, wow, like I'm gonna have to take a second look at cross stitch, because, you know, she's probably just thinking the old style samplers, which of course those are beautiful too, but you know what I'm saying. She wasn't thinking the kind of cross stitch that we all know and love. So hopefully I changed some minds with that. Okay, oops, that went on the floor. At least it's washable. I love Dimensions. What else? I think that's it pretty much as far as what I've stitched on since my last video. So in my last video, I had a bunch of plans and really exciting, and like I was going to do all these things. This is my birthday month. My birthday is on October the 27th. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No, which is Wednesday. And I was going to do this thing where I started a new start every week on a Wednesday because it falls on a Wednesday, and it was going to be great, and I was going to be, you know, I think Sarah, Stitchin' Mommy, is doing it, and that's where I got the idea. And then Stitching Michaela joined me and is actually doing it. So awesome for you. I've been following on Instagram, and good job on doing that along with me, but I haven't done a very good job with keeping up with my plans. So much for that. So I think it was Michelle Bendy that said, what are plans for except to change them, right? So here's the thing, here's the deal. I did not get October started for Country Cottage Needleworks. I was going to get that started. Hasn't been started. I'm debating, do I do that or do I start November? Because I have November. Probably going to skip and do November for now. And then I had 4 new starts, the 4 new starts plan that was not part of that. So the first start that I did do, I did get something started, is this one called Woman Reading, or it's just Reading by the Window, I think is the name of it, from XrossStitch Studio. I don't remember the original artist offhand. This is a massive piece, whereas my Treasure Hunt bookshelf, which I forgot to name, by Amy Stewart that I showed, my Heaven and Earth design, that's something like 362,000 stitches. This one is 600 some thousand stitches, so it is more than twice as big. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get it done in my lifetime, but I decided to do half stitch for it, which is the first time I've tried that. So I'm finding it harder than I thought, because you know, when you have the full stitches, you know, it's clear where things are and where things go, and I've had to like stop a couple times and really look and count and be really more careful with the half cross, but I'm sure I'll get into it. So this is what I have. I started in the middle. I'm stitching this along with Nicole from Stitchy Lemon. Hi Nicole, did you start yet? I would love to see if you've started. We've talked about starting it this fall sometime. We didn't have, I don't think, an actual start date. So this is the middle, because I haven't decided whether I want to stitch the whole thing and stitch all the wood around, or whether I'm just going to stitch the middle seam. So I figured if I start in the middle, then I can decide as I go and see how it looks and just keep adding onto it if I decide to do the whole thing or how much to do around it. So this is one of the plants in the window, and there's some water there. And so that's what I got. That was just one day that I worked on that for a couple of hours. And that is, I think I said, a 25 count Lugana 1/1 half cross. No, it's 2/1 half cross. So that was really the only thing that I started so far this month. And here I have 1 week left. But I'm determined to get the other one started, at least get a stitch in. So I don't see it here with me, of course. I will show it next time, because I had it. I had everything here and then it walked off, which something always walks off for me. So I will show it next time. But years ago, early 2000s, I stitched this piece. It's called Medley of Composers, or Composers Medley of Composers. This piece here. It's got some of the famous classical composers on it, and just, I really like it. It's just really pretty. It's from this booklet from Stony Creek called Let the Music Play, which has 6 patterns on it, and really that one's really the only one that I probably will stitch. This is this is copyright 2000. I say old, to me that doesn't feel that old, but so back in 2000, 2001, somewhere in there, I stitched most of that piece on a 14 count. And I gotta tell you, in those days, I must have been, I don't remember specifically, but I must have been measuring the fabric or cutting the fabric to the actual design size, because this thing is stitched to the very, very tip. And I was framing then with the sticky board. So that's probably why, because I did frame some things like that, and they're still holding up all this time later. I need to get some pictures of those because they're at my mom's house. So they did work, but the sun now is doing weird things. Hi sun, I was hoping it was going to be overcast all day, because we haven't had any rainy overcast days in months. It's been sunny every day. Not that I'm complaining, but I like, okay, enough rambling. Okay, back on track. The point being that I want to restart this, and this was one of my planned starts, and guess what I had on my lap? Ta-da! There's the piece that was in my one of my boxes of many unfinished pieces. So there it is on the 14 count, and as you can see, it's stitched way to the edges. So I do want to redo it, and I meant to look this up because I know it, and I want to say it's from an opera. This is actual list music on the background, if anybody cares. I am really sorry to do this to you, but it goes la 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 la. That, I apologize for my voice. I am classically trained, but not in voice, clearly. So anyway, it's that, and then I want to redo it on this 32 count Lugana, obviously, which is one of my favorites. On this, which is vellum. It's just a piece of white Aida that I did on before 14 count. So this is vellum, which is not showing up real great, but it's kind of a parchment, kind of an aged parchment from Picture This Plus. So that's my plan, and that should have plenty of room for framing on it. One of my other starts that I plan to do, I feel really washed out right now. I had my lighting all set, and then the sun is like, spotlight. Okay, so this is one of the other pieces that I wanted to start. And this is called, the official name is The Lecture. It's on Etsy. There is a knockoff kit going around. It's not legit, but there isn't, it's sold on Etsy under the original designer. And my viewer Mel Patton, who is great, and we stitch a lot of the same things, and I love watching her stuff on Instagram because she's we have like the same stitchy styles. So hi Mel. She said she has this ready to go, so let's stitch this together. Let's start this on my birthday, the 27th, October 27th, if you're ready to go. I'm still trying to figure out though, and anybody else that wants to stitch with me, please, let's join in. It doesn't have to be this one, it could be a fairy, a dragon, whatever. I'm still trying to figure out my fabric for this one. I had pictured it on a sky. So I have this one, which it's showing up a lot brighter, I think, on the camera than in real life. This is Tsunami by Bestitch Me, Lugana. And this is Ice Queen by Bestitch Me in Lugana. I think this one, obviously a little more gray purple. I like that. I think better for that than this one, maybe. This will still make a nice sky for something, but I also kind of pictured it on like a pretty, like, sort of stormy sky, but not necessarily dark, but like when the sky gets that beautiful kind of like glow before a storm or after a storm. I've seen it stitched on, there's some finished pictures on the Etsy shop, and it was stitched on some pretty stuff like that. So I may still change. I have one of my favorite colorways is River Sticks by Under the Sea Fabrics, which I do have in my stash, and so I'm thinking about maybe playing around with that. And then that brings me to my last piece that I had talked about in my last video, the Modern Folk Embroidery Fruits of Plenty. Hi Darcy. So if you saw my last video, or even if you didn't, I'll tell you, I have been wanting to start this for months. And Stitch Man Darcy Cameron here on YouTube, who most of you I'm sure are familiar with, he has been twisting my arm to start it. Not very hard because it's so beautiful and I really want to start it. So my plan was to start it this month. I cannot find the fabric I bought for it for anything. Let me tell you guys, I have gotten so much decluttering and cleaning and organizing done, going through different places that I think that might be. I even went back and checked my purchases from 123 Stitch. Like, did I really order it? Yes, I did. And apparently there's 2 other pieces of linen that have run away with this one, and I don't know where they are. So it's motivating me to get a lot of organizing and decluttering done. However, it still has not turned out. So actually this morning I did order another piece of 36 count linen for it so that I can start it, because I can't stand it. I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand it. Now, if you've watched XrossStitch, not his last video, but the video before, which I know you have, right? I mean, I know you're watching every video like of his. He mentioned that I should wait and start Fruits of Plenty with him and Kathy from To Die House in January, because they're starting in January. And then Darcy's messaging me like, but wait, like you are that. So I am going to start it because I want to start it. I'm sure that by January, like those people starting it in January of 2022 are gonna probably like surpass me anyway. So I was like, well, I can still stitch it along with them, and I can still stitch it now. I can still start it now, right? I had to laugh though, because Chris said, oh, another tangent that I forgot to mention. Chris, if you're watching this, I haven't seen the Headless Horseman in a couple weeks. Where is he? We got to see him again one more time before Halloween. Please bring him out one more time. I want to see him again. Anyway, it was funny because Chris told me not to go to the dark side and start this sampler with Darcy. Well, I'm not going to go to the dark side, but I'm going to go to the Darcy side. Okay. I mean, when Chris said that, I thought he was going to say that. I thought he was going to say, don't go to the Darcy side. I'm so funny. And it got me to thinking, like, those two guys have got to do a collab. They're starting to tease it, right? We're all like waiting, the tension is building. We know they're going to be amazing. They're amazing separately. They're going to be amazing together. And they are the yin and the yang. Now, I guess that makes Darcy the dark side, and then you've got Chris, which is the white light side. You've got to have both, and they're both great, and you can't have one without the other. So that's my little thing. But I am going to the dark side, so I will get that started as soon as it comes in. I'm putting a stitch in it, and then I've officially started it. No matter if it's just one stitch, which it's not, it's going to be like a thread at least, and I probably won't be able to put it down. So that's that tangent. That was a whole thing all on its own, right? Okay, I have just a couple little things to show haul-wise. I've been trying to watch my spending, but gosh, it's hard. I've been just seeing all the things, and when it's your birthday month, you're like, well, I don't know if I'm going to get stitchy stuff for my family, so I gotta take care of it, right? I ordered this when I got some floss from Sandra's Stitch Stash. This is Redwork Noel. And when I ordered it, it popped up and I saw that it was Imaginating published it, and I love Imaginating's patterns. And then when I got it, I realized it was actually designed by Joan Elliott. So that's extra special. I picked up some fabrics from Stash Unload. There was a gal that had a bunch of fabrics, hand-dyed fabrics for sale, and I really had to limit myself and just narrow it down. So I narrowed it down to just 3, which was really hard to do. But I got Cosmos from Under the Sea Fabrics. This is an opalescent. No idea what I'm going to do with it, but I was looking at that Nightmare Before Christmas stitch along at the time, and that's why I made that excuse that, oh, this might make a good background for that. And then of course now I haven't doing it. So this is hand dyed by Rolanda. I don't think she names her pieces, but it's really pretty. It's my first piece by her. She has like this beautiful watercolor effect is the best way I could describe it. That's how I see it. Her marbling is different than a lot of the others and very unique. Like you can kind of tell that it's Rolanda's when you see it. And my friend Amanda, Lucky Chance Stitcher on Instagram and Flosstube. Hi Amanda. She often uses fabrics from Rolanda, hand dyed by Rolanda, and they're always very beautiful and they make great backgrounds. So I got that too because I thought I wanted a piece in my stash to try that out. So I love that. And then the last one I got from that same place, the same lady, was this one called Bewitched from Pole Stitches, which is really pretty. It's a purpley raspberry kind of cosmos, right? Like nebula looking kind of thing. Colorway. Now, Pole Stitches, honestly, their fabrics are beautiful. A lot of times when I've gotten Pole Stitches, they haven't looked anything like the picture that's represented, so there must be a lot of variety between them. On the website, Bewitched looks like mostly gray, light black, with some pink and red thrown in slightly. However, as you can see, this is a largely raspberry with the blacks. And there is an Autumn Lane Stitchery piece that I love called Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is just black silhouette. I think there's a white moon and ghost, but mostly black silhouette of kids trick-or-treating, and then underneath, in this tunnel underneath, there's these three witches over the cauldron, and I love it. And I was thinking about for this piece, although I'm not sure the black would show up very well in here, so that's to be determined, and that would be next Halloween anyway. I'm not going to start that now. And then the other thing I got a while ago, but I don't think I've shown it here yet, is this piece, this neat piece called Bang, that I got from XrossStitch. This is a 28 count something, even weave, I think, from Crosswing collection. And this fabric, I believe, is printed. I think Crosswing is printed, isn't it? I'm not positive, but yeah, it's got to be printed. And it was specifically designed, by my understanding, for the Glendon Plays Poltergeist, Pirate Poltergeist, or whatever it's called, that I have shown before that I got. So I wanted to get that piece to stitch it on, because I think that fabric really adds to the effect of that. Now, I want to say hi to Sue, or Sue Ann, I'm not sure which you go by, but hello, Sue. And I want to mention her because Sue is a fellow Flosstuber. She has a great Flosstube channel. She only has a few videos up. She's Nonna Sue Stitches on Flosstube. And I hope you will go take time to check out her videos because she's wonderful. I admit I have watched her each video more than once because I appreciate her soft-spoken voice, and she's got a great variety of things that she works on. And she's a neighbor of mine. We only live probably about 30 minutes as far as I know from each other. So we've got to get together and we've got to see each other and, you know, stitch and try, because I've never done that before. So, you know, at least not, yeah, I really haven't. So, that would be amazing. There is a Florida retreat coming up in Tampa, I think in February. If anyone is going to that, please let me know. I haven't decided. I wasn't really sure, but if there's anybody going there that I might know or want to know, let me know, and I might consider if it's still possible to sign up. It's at a hotel in Tampa for a weekend, and I've never done any retreats like that or anything. And so, yeah, so hi, Sue. I hope to meet you in person really soon. Thank you for your friendship. And I also want to say that I want to say hi to Kim from Canal Town Stitcher, because I enjoy watching her. I always watch her videos. I don't always comment. I need to do better at that. But she stitches a lot of beautiful things, and she posts regular updates, and she's doing some really pretty Christmas pieces right now, a lot of birds and kind of some of the more primitive things. And so I really appreciate her as well. So I hope that you will go give her some Flosstube love as well. I'm sure they would both appreciate if you scoot over there and see them. So thank you for watching. That's it for me today, and I hope to see you again really soon, sooner than last time. And I hope you all have a marvelous time stitching and a great Halloween if you observe it, and a great fall either way, or spring if you're in Australia. All right, bye guys.